Welcome to North Carolina. Look at our elaborate. Me and Ron have pitched up here, and these are our tents.
This is the most northern of the Carolinas.
Certainly more northern than that pesky South Carolina.
The South Carolina, yeah. I wonder if there is ever talk of making an East or a West Carolina.
I don't know. It's a fine question.
And if you live in the east of North Carolina, do you have to say Northeast Carolina?
Yeah, I don't know. So my toilet reading book for the past few years has been an encyclopedia of the American West.
Okay.
Because I find encyclopedias are quite good for toilet reading because, they're little, mini books. But I think, where am I now? End of the M's. So when I get to North Carolina, I might, because there's probably a very good reason. There's probably a very good reason there is a North and South Carolina. I'm wondering if it predates the Civil War, or if it's a Civil War.
Because there's also a North and a South Dakota, that's right? Right, yes. And there's a Virginia and a West Virginia.
Yep.
Yeah, but not East Virginia, just Virginia.
Right. Again, there's probably very good reasons for these in the midst of time, right?
Sure.
But we're not clever.
And we are, of course, neither of us are actually American, so.
No.
Yes.
Speaking of which, though, I know when you did used to live in Canada, you have done a few trips to your problematic southern neighbors. So I always ask you this, each state, have you ever actually been to North Carolina?
No.
Okay. No. There's the end of that segment. No. Shit, I was hoping we could spin that out for 5 minutes. So, yeah, surprisingly, there's a lot more going on in terms of our project here in North Carolina than I thought. Not as much as when we get to Florida and like California, but
right.
But more than you might think. I think we're actually going to get 8 shows out of North Carolina.
Okay.
So we might pick up the pace a little bit. We might do our North Carolina. We're going to try and maybe do it bi-weekly rather than monthly, but we'll see how we get along with that.
Okay.
But I kind of took it somewhat seriously and decided, okay, let's actually. What I mean is, of course, we are on the road, as I said. These are our tents that we've
get out of the road, North Carolina hippies.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. This is the replica of our rooms at home, and the only reason we're doing it via Zoom is because we're in different tents.
Right, of course, yeah, and just for consistency sake.
Yes, because we love us some consistency, don't we, Ron?
Yes, especially when I can pronounce it.
So I decided we're entering from whatever the fuck the last place we did. Was it Tennessee we did last?
I think sounds about right. Maybe, yeah.
So we're entering. Tennessee is to our west.
Right.
So coming on the west. So basically we're going to be going west to east, and then maybe down at the end we'll be going, and then we'll be going south. Actually, kind of coming into South Carolina from the east when we get to South Carolina. I haven't looked in advance. I have no idea if there's much going on in South Carolina as well.
Okay.
So we begin over on, I suppose, the east side, the west side of North Carolina. And our first 2 episodes are based around Shelby, North Carolina. So Shelby, North Carolina was home to the EO Studios, as in the letters EO, for Earl Owensby. So Earl Owensby was a kind of a regional sort of low budget filmmaker who was quite successful pumping stuff out for drive-ins, especially southern drive-ins. And So the first film we're going to talk about stars Earl Owensby and was produced by. He also directed a bunch of stuff. And then the second film we're going to talk about was partially filmed at the EO Studios, which he would hire out. So in terms of North Carolina film history, Earl Owensby is quite a important figure.
Right.
And yes, so he is the star of our first film on the docket for today and the producer of Dogs of Hell, aka Rottweiler, which was originally in 3D.
Ooh.
Yes. We didn't see it in
lot.
3D, sadly. Although I don't know, I have a friend of mine actually has a 3D projector.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I've been around his house. I occasionally go around. We have little 3D movie parties. But I've
Do you have to buy? Do you have to get like the 3D movies? Like you have to get a special version in order to use the 3D projector?
Yes, you have to get a 3D. You have to get a digital file 3D. So yes, so we've done.
And then you need to have the glasses too, right?
Yes, he's got the glasses and he's got the projector. I usually provide digital copies of the film. So we watched like Dynasty, a 3D kung fu film from the 70s, which the 3D was really good actually in that. And Robot Monster, Jaws 3D. Which is kind of
classic.
Fun. I haven't seen Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D yet, but my friend Jan assures me it's actually quite entertaining.
Yeah. How about the wasn't there like a Piranha 3D?
Yes, that was the.
Or am I imagining that?
No, you're right. I was thinking about this because I was trying to explain this to someone because they were, and I realized it is confusing. So you got the original Piranha, right? And then there was like a straight to TV remake in the 90s. And then there's the remake Piranha, right? With David Hasselhoff and, that one. But then, yes, you're right. The sequel, because it came out when 3D was the thing, was called, because they.
Wasn't it Double D?
Yes, Piranha 3DD.
Double D. DD,
because,
right?
that film was. It was all about the gore and the cleavage and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
But in retrospect, it does seem, there must have been a Piranha 2 then, and then Piranha 3D, Double D. But there's no Piranha 2.
It wasn't, yeah.
No. It is quite confusing now.
Yeah.
Because obviously they were just going for Piranha 3D, but then.
But it was the fourth Piranha movie technically made, right?
1, 2, 3. Yes.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So if you count it as like there's like the original, and then the reboot, and then it's like the third one in that case, maybe. If you don't count the remake,
right?
The straight to TV movie, right? So
straight
to video one.
But I don't know. I've heard the 3D effects in Dogs of Hell are actually quite good. Although even if I got it, I don't know if I want to really watch this again. But and also judging from this, the only bit that jumped out at me as, that's clearly supposed to be in 3D is near the beginning. There's someone throwing darts, isn't there?
Oh yeah, okay.
Towards the camera, and they're like waving about a little bit because they're on like a wire or something, right? But are you poorly, Ron?
I'm not feeling very well. Sorry. Sorry for the coughing.
No. I'm sorry for making you do that. I didn't realize you were ill.
It's okay.
Yes. So but apparently I've heard that apparently the 3D effects are quite good. So Dogs of Hell. So this is set in the real kind of resort mountain town of Lake Lure. America's mountain playground, according to the sign that we see in the film. This is also in another film we're going to be talking next time, Death Screens. So this is actually further to the west. So even though this is based around Shelby, we're actually starting a bit further west, I suppose, if you go by location.
Okay.
So anyway, there's a military transport truck we find full of like Rottweilers which have been trained to kill, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
More than like a super soldier kind of thing. They're like they've been.
yeah, and
Is it? Am I imagining it? Was it implied or stated that they were kind of like genetically enhanced of some kind, or
I think so. I
yeah,
think
something
so.
like that? Yeah.
And someone certainly does mention that they're evil. They've actually become evil
Yeah.
in the process, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Whatever has happened to their training is made them evil dogs, of whatever
yeah,
that means.
it's a bit of a it's an odd one. There's surprising. There's quite a
Well,
few.
I think I know why they did that, but I mean, we'll get to that in a second.
Okay, okay, interesting.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I suppose the big film is kind of a forgotten film now, but in 1977, Robert Klaus directed that film, The Pack, right, which was one
Uh,
of those. So post Jaws, obviously, we got all sorts of killer animal films,
right. Right.
but there's subgenres within the killer animal genre, and The Pack seems to have been, I don't know, successful enough to have inspired a few killer dog films, right?
Right.
There was like Mongrel and one that was just called Dogs. I suppose you could check Cujo in there as well, I guess.
Cujo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cujo is there. Yeah. So.
And there's that Italian one from later in the cycle, like 85 or something, Monster Dog, starring none other than Alice Cooper.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's not very good. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Well,
so
Alice
so
Cooper's the lead.
yeah, so Dogs of Hell is I suppose in that in that group of rip-offs. So you got these killer dogs, there's a truck transporting them somewhere. I don't really know why. He's kind of going through this mountain resort town. I don't really understand. But wouldn't you know it, the truck crashes. Finally, because there's a lot of like scene setting stuff, isn't there? Like we're introduced
Right.
to Earl Owensby's kind of slightly lazy sheriff
Yeah.
and the local bar where they have female mud wrestling. Um, and Lake Lure does actually look quite nice. Looks like a nice
Mm.
place.
Mm. Yeah. Except
It
for the
looks,
killer dogs, the killer evil
yeah,
dogs.
that's the only thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's a seasonal thing but anyway, the truck crashes and the dogs escape and they kill people. Uh, that's it.
Yep.
And it's not very scary. It's quite
Yeah.
boring. Um,
Yes.
and
Yeah. I don't know. Like. Yeah.
and the triumphant kind of ending is kind of soured a little bit because you're basically kind of seeing
Just
a
killing
dog,
dogs.
yeah, about to be burnt to death
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah.
And
The dog's kind of like sad at the window, like
yeah,
it's like, woo, sorry.
it doesn't really
It's like,
feel like a
yay, kill the
yes.
dogs, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's like, yeah,
yeah. No, it's an odd
a
one.
bit misled. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you get on with Dogs of Hell, Ron? I mean,
Yeah, basically the same. Yeah, it's like I mean, now that you've said that it was shot for 3D, which I didn't realize at the time, it makes more sense because a lot of there's some very kind of odd camera angles and stuff that obviously were that tend to be in 3D movies where they kind of like flub it so that they could get a 3D shot, whatever, which would never normally be done normal. And of course, when you're not watching in 3D, it just looks kind of odd. It
right.
was also quite dark.
Yes, the
The
image gets
print
darker.
is quite dark. It's images, which may have something to do with the 3D shot as well. So that, and yeah, I just think it was yeah, Earl Owensby, who's I guess supposed to be sort of like a legend in this sort of community. I guess
Mm,
he was just sort of like mumbling and expressionless. He just went, the sheriff. It's just sort of like left a little bit. I was expecting a little bit more. Oh well, this guy must be like a big deal in this sort of area, but he was just sort of like he was quite uh
yeah. I guess when you own the story,
forgettable.
no one's going to stop you from
Yeah,
starring in it.
I guess. Yeah, yeah.
He
I
played
guess
the
he was.
Wolfman as well in so it's actually directed by a guy called Worth Keeter, who
Mm,
directed Wolfman for Earl Owensby as well, and
mm,
he's the
mm,
lead in that.
mm,
Yeah, no, clearly a bit of an ego.
mm.
Yeah, no, he's not. I mean, he's not bad. He's not terrible, but he's not
Yeah,
very interesting. At least not here.
yeah. But usually in these sort of like where there's the one guy who's sort of like the hub or like the. I mean, isn't there like a documentary about him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. It's like the man, the myth,
the
the
man,
legend, or
the
something like
myth.
that.
Yeah, I mean, fair play.
Yeah,
He's going for it. I mean, the only other person I know that has a documentary called "The Man, the Myth" about him is Bruce Lee, and so
yeah,
I'm
exactly,
not sure
right?
if the
Who
comparison is
Yeah,
fair.
so when I read that, I was like, oh, well, this guy has like a documentary about him called The Man, the Myth. And I was like, okay, well, he must be something interesting or special. But it was quite, I was like, that's it. This is the guy this whole thing's about. I think so. So that
That
was
doc is on YouTube
interesting.
actually as well, and I think
Oh,
I might
really?
take a look at it. I'm quite curious.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give it a pass. I think so.
Coming soon as
Um,
well is my documentary, The Legend of Clive Davis. That's going to be coming out soon.
um, yeah. And again, it's sort of like so I don't know so what's the connection between this one and the next one, the
Final
final
exam.
exam?
That's shot at Earl Owensby's studios.
Right. So he's connected with both, right?
Well, they filmed on his at his studios like other films were, but that's about it. I don't think he has anything
Oh,
else to
okay.
do with it. But I'm
Oh, okay.
guessing
So
within the North Carolina film community, um, yeah, you probably because the thing is, he also ran. I think, if I'm remembering this right, I think he did run drive-ins and stuff as well. That's how he started,
uh,
and then he was making
okay.
product for his own. So my guess is
Mm,
he would have been involved in local distribution as well. So you probably had
right.
to deal with him at some point.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's something very clear about the next movie, Final Exam, which I thought maybe would be more of a link to why the dogs
Okay,
are
that's
evil,
interesting.
kind of thing, right? So
We'll get
yeah,
there.
but I don't know
Yeah.
if that was why. Yeah. So, but I guess with the ideas that they're evil is trying to make them the bad guy, but it's hard to make an animal a bad guy when they're just kind of like being animals, right?
Right. Right.
yeah, it's I don't know, it's a hard sell, I think, especially when you've got like all these movies and people are like, all these people die and they're like, no, don't kill the dog, like people like those
Yeah.
kind of things, right? People like don't love dogs and then make the dogs the kind of the bad guy and then have like, yay, all the dogs are dead. It was just, yeah, it
Yeah.
didn't
People
didn't
don't like when the dog gets
land.
killed, do they? People don't like
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. And I think this one also falls into the main trap of a lot of other low budget horrors around that we're kind of seeing on this trip, which is that they sort of have like a basic idea and a couple kind of like maybe set pieces or a couple like plots or a couple like kind of big themes where someone does something and then they have to fill the other hour and a
Right.
half, and they
Yeah.
just fill it with this sort of like nonsense dialogue that doesn't mean anything or go anywhere with actors that don't really know what they're saying and they're really wouldn't, and I'm just like, what is happening, right? so
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
rather than having which I think the next movie did a little bit better, which is that so that they actually had more kind of those kind of like tentpole kind of scenes, whereas this one it was just sort of like a one or two kind of dog attack scenes, and
Yeah.
then the
There's not
rest of it
that
was
many
just like
dog attacks, really, are
people
there?
sitting in a room talking, right? So it's
And they
yeah, so
never
it's
really feel particularly menacing. Um,
yeah, 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 exactly. So it's just like they've got a dog to bark and they've filmed it and then kind of recycled they put it on cycle, like
yeah.
yeah.
There's a
So
Canadian anthology horror film from the late 70s called The Uncanny, um,
mm,
which is all based around cats. And that's even
mm,
more of a hard sell because there's like
yeah,
Peter Cushing's in it and like the framing device has all these cats like outside his house and stuff. And you just see them and you think, ah, like
cute.
it's particularly scary about a cat. Um,
Well, but then there's like they do have some kind of like the Cat's Eye. There's that remember the cat,
yeah, but the
the Stephen
cat's
King
the
one.
hero, isn't he? The cat's the hero of that.
Isn't he? I thought wasn't it the cat like they're stealing the breath of the kids, or it was?
No, that's like a weird like goblin
Oh, and the
creature.
cat is
Yeah,
rescues the kid. Okay, I thought it was the other way around. I
yeah.
couldn't
No, the
remember. I haven't
cat's the
seen it in
good guy
years.
in
So,
them.
oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it is a tricky one to do, that's for
Hmm.
sure. Um, yeah, so yeah, it's not great. One other interesting
So,
trend is
but even if you take something like Cujo, for example, you brought up Cujo,
yeah,
and I read the book of Cujo and stuff, and I saw the movie the long time ago, and even when the Cujo, I mean, it's not like you're the thing that Cujo does that this doesn't is that it's not really that you like hate the dog. The dog is not
no,
evil. The dog is just sick, and you're just
yes,
worried for the well-being of the people who are
yes.
under attack by this sick dog, right? Which I think is the way to go about this sort
I
of
think so.
idea.
To
Rather
your
than making
point,
evil animals attacking people you don't really care about, well, then
yeah, to
you've
your
lost it,
point, to
right?
make
So
it
yeah,
evil,
yeah,
and in Kuja, the smart thing is they make it that it's
mm,
been bitten by a rabbit bat, right? So
exactly,
yeah,
yeah,
so it's
yeah.
not the
So
dog's fault, and you do feel a certain amount of sympathy.
right,
Spoiler, Cujo dies,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not, yeah, it's not the triumphant kind of,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's not like a yay, the dog's dead. It's more like a oh well, at least the people are safe, and it's really too bad what
right,
happened to that
yeah,
dog,
poor
right? That's
Cujo,
which is kind of yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Poor Cujo. Yeah.
The other interesting credit I noticed, someone who worked on the effects on this film is none other than Fred Olen Ray. I don't know what he was doing in North Carolina, but he did work on some
Who's that?
effects. You don't know who Fred Olen Ray is? You
Mm,
will have seen, I guarantee you would have seen some of his films in the 80s. So he was like one of
mm.
those guys who pumped out um, endless direct-to-video exploitation in the 80s. Kind of like Jim Wynorski. He's similar to, and I'm sure they're
Mm.
good friends. So he made things like Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, for example, is one of his big
Mm.
titles, or
Okay.
Beverly Hills Vampire, the one with Eddie Deason from Grease. He made a
Okay.
few films with Eddie Deason, actually. There's one called Mob Boss, where Eddie Deason's like like a mobster's son or something like that. Yeah, for all
Okay.
you Eddie Deason fans out there. Um, Eugene as a mob boss is, quite
Yeah.
funny.
Very funny. Yeah.
Apparently, he was the voice as well for a long time. Eddie Deason was the voice of one of either Snap, Crackle, or Pop on TV commercials.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
Apparently, a very well-paid gig as well. Like he did that for, like, you go
Yeah.
into a studio like once every few months or something and just say Pop, and
Mm.
you get like fucking loads of money.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all it takes. Yeah. You get those like product sponsorships and stuff like that. You get those like voiceover gigs. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can live quite comfortably on that stuff. So
yeah. Well, even for, I mean, we've not that much experience of it, but we've noticed in our lives here, like we do a little bit of acting here and there, but
mm,
when you get a voice job, it's like, oh, why
mm,
is this three times the money
yeah,
and it's quick? And yeah, if you can get into
yeah,
voice
and
work,
yeah, yeah,
that's our advice, kids. Get into
yes,
voice work.
yes, yeah. I know the guy who's the voice at Disneyland, so he does
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
yeah,
very, yeah, good gig, good
yeah,
gig.
yeah,
So yeah, so Fred already worked on this film. I think that's about it. I think. Are you done with
yeah,
it?
yeah. I think I'm done with it for
Okay.
my life.
Yes, I can't imagine. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention, you were talking about padding the film out, and this has a
Yeah.
classic example. We've already seen this in a bunch of films. I'm sure we'll see it a bunch more. Is the band in the bar, right?
Oh yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Surprisingly, they don't get that much out of them because they
Mm,
quickly go to the mud wrestling. But I was
yeah,
expecting them to
right.
come back for
Yeah,
a
mud wrestling. That was
reprise.
the other thing. Yeah.
I was expecting them to come back and play another song. I don't even know who that band is actually, but yeah, they missed a
No,
trick
yeah.
there. If you've got a
Yeah,
band,
yeah,
get at least get them to do a couple of songs.
yeah. But I think this is the first one that put mud wrestling in there, so good,
I
good for
think
them on
so.
that
Yeah,
one.
we have. There
Yeah, yeah,
hasn't been too much mud wrestling. I
yeah,
hope there's some more coming up.
yeah.
I am also quite keen to see made around the same time, the other killer dog film, Mongrel. Not because I think it's any good. I've never seen it, but I found out today while researching this and looking around. Mongrel features footage of once upon a time there was a official deep throat pinball machine, which is
Interesting.
amazing to think that at some point you could go into some bar somewhere and play a deep throat pinball machine.
What is the connection to Mongrel?
It's in it. Someone plays it in the
Oh,
film Mongrel. So,
okay. Really?
yeah.
It wasn't created for the movie?
Say again?
It wasn't created for the movie?
No. It was actually made by someone involved in the film. It's like an official piece of merch. And someone's actually created like I not on YouTube. I saw someone's made like a video, like a love letter to the deep throat pinball machine, which is basically just footage from the film Mongrel.
Right.
Because I think
Right.
I don't know, there might be another film with a deep throat pinball machine.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
right, okay, on to the next film, Final Exam. So we already talked about this, but I forgot to record it. Sorry, Ron.
Whoops.
Yes. So we'll try and retain the enthusiasm. But
Right, yay.
yeah. Wow. Final Exam. So yes, as
What are we talking
Ron
about?
stated.
So basically, it was a Halloween ripoff. Really wanted it to be Halloween, but didn't do it as well as John Carpenter, so it was just boring. Although it did have more sort of tentpole kind of horror, quote unquote, scenes, action scenes, more than Dogs of War did. But of course, it still ended up being quite boring.
Yes, and it lacked the hook of because this kind of film has to have a Freddy or a Jason or something. But in this film, it's just a guy in a green jacket.
Yeah, good. Yeah. So
Not
yeah,
good.
so it's of all the all the other kind of horror icons all have like a thing, right? But of course, this guy is just literally just some dude walking and trying to kill people with and he doesn't even have one particular weapon, right? He just kind of kills them with whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or is there one knife?
I don't remember any of the kills really.
Yeah.
And they fake a campus shooting in order to steal some test results, which is something they certainly wouldn't do nowadays or play for laughs. But in this film, it's like, oh shucks, boys will be boys. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
There's a possibly progressive kind of obviously gay character, which they don't make a big deal out of. Which, as you pointed out, Ron, is probably was just they just cast the best person that was originally written as straight, and they just went with it. And so that's but the campus shooting is definitely the most notable thing. I misidentified someone I thought Ron would fancy, but he didn't so much. But she was on Days of Our Lives. Jimmy Houston co-wrote Running Scared and later directed My Best Friend. The first time we talked about all this, it was really entertaining and brilliant.
It was awesome. Yeah.
But I forgot to record it. That's on me. I do apologize.
You get the 3-minute version.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, just to sum up, I think the most notable thing about this movie is the prank campus shooting,
the hilarious fake
which
campus
is
shooting
done for fun and to steal the test results, but of course would be horrifying now in any particular movie, right? So,
as the coach said, I thought it was pretty funny myself. Anyway, there you go. That's the digest version. If you want the full chat about Final Exam, you're shit out of luck because no one recorded it.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
No,
yeah, so.
I mean if we had a Patreon, you could donate money and you still wouldn't get it. So
yeah, because we didn't record it.
We didn't record it. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Anyway, sign us off, Ron, with your classic.
All right. Well,
sign off.
Get out of the road, you North Carolina hippies. I was gonna say hookers for some reason. North Carolina hippies and the hookers. You can stay in the road.
To be fair, well, no, because we don't want to run anyone over.
Well, yeah, just stay to the side, I guess.
Apologize to sex workers everywhere for Ron's desire to murder you. Until next time.
All right, ta-ta, bye-bye.
She said, get your haircut, boy. Come on and get it out of your eyes. Stop your drinking, smoking, boys, and telling all of them lies. Yeah, let me hear you say yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, let me hear you say yeah, yeah. I saw Howard late last night. Come to me, girl, baby, turn on your love light. She didn't know just what to say, but I'm gonna love her till the end of my days. She looked at me, I could tell her she'd be mine. Yeah, but now you're mine. Well, baby, now you're mine. Yeah, let me hear you say yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, let me hear you say yeah, yeah. I saw Howard late last night. Come to me, girl, baby, turn on your love light. She said, get your haircut, boy. Come on and get it out of your eyes. Stop your drinking, smoking, boys, and telling all of them lies. Yeah, let me hear you say yeah, 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 yeah. Well, let me hear you say yeah, yeah. I saw Howard late last night. Come to me, girl, baby, turn on your love light. Baby, turn on your love light. Yeah, let it shine out on me. Yeah, let it shine out on me.